Well, I normally would say I'm really excited to talk to Lieutenant Colonel Yaakov Perez, an old friend of mine. We go back decades. I went on many trips to Israel with him when he was a shliach with Jewish National Fund. I'm also with my good friend Sidney Ben Isri, the National Executive Director of Canadian Magen David Adom for Israel. And I would often say what a pleasure it is to be talking to Sidney, and it is, but not we're not all together here for good reasons. There's a war in Israel, and Yaakov, who served in the army for so many years and so involved, but months earlier, there was a tragedy in Yaakov's family. Yaakov, why don't you tell us what happened?
Okay, my granddaughter Lida, is serving in the regiment number 7, the famous regiment who stopped the invasion in the Six-Day War from the north, from Syria. And this is a famous regiment. And Avigdor Kralani, the General Avigdor Kralani, was the captain, the chief of this unit. My granddaughter was an officer who was in charge of moving all the unit from her base to the border of Gaza. And it was on the 20th of July. She was in charge to move around 8 containers from the base to the border. One of the cars who started to move, that the group can pick the container and put it on the remote, pushed the container, a door opened, pushed the head of my granddaughter, and she fell under the tires of the car. 12 tires passed on her head, and she was killed right away. We wanted to give to people their organ, to donate them to save life, but unfortunately, because she was on the site for more than 8 hours, and it was a very hot day, they couldn't use their organ. The family, since that, the family and myself, we decided in her memory, the best way to remember her is to purchase an ambulance in her memory and in the memory of the soldiers of her regiment. It's not something easy to do, but I believe that we will achieve our goal, and more than that. My dream is to be able to make 2 ambulances, that one will be in memory of my granddaughter Lida, and one in memory of the whole regiment number 7. I'm going to say something very personal. I believe in God, and in Yom Kippur, I said, God, what did I do wrong that you took from me Lida? Why she was killed? What I did so many things in my life. I helped the Israeli Defense Forces for their welfare for years. I was a shaliach in many countries, and whatever I did, it was for the bien-être of people. And today, when the war started on Simchat Torah, August the 7th, I said and 30 soldiers of her unit were the first one to be killed in the first day, in the first hours. Amongst them, 5 soldiers, women, with 2 officers. And till today, some of them, we don't know what are they kidnapped, are they killed, we don't know where they are. So I said to myself, thanks God look at this situation. Thanks God that she was killed 2 months ago and not now with all this ugly war with this these terrorist barbar who killed, kidnapped children and people and soldiers. So this is something very, very difficult and unique.
What a tragic story. So Sydney, tell us, how does this work? We know you have ambulance all the time. How is this campaign for Yaakov's granddaughter going to work with Canadian Magen David Adom for Israel?
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Mike Cohen, and the Suburban for giving us, the opportunity to speak about Magen David Adom and also to speak about this special campaign to honor the memory of Captain Lidar Perez. So what we are doing, when Yaakov approached us about this campaign, we said absolutely, especially right now with what's happening in Israel, with this difficult time, that there was no doubt that we were here to support, his this campaign. So what we did, we put together a page, platform, on our website, so people can contribute to this campaign in memory of Captain Lidar Perez. For us, it was a very, it was very touchy, especially that we know the family Perez, we know Yaakov. Like he mentioned, he was a shaliach in Montreal and in other city and country, and we know his brother also is very involved here. So it's a community, it's a family who are very involved and did a lot of good things, for the community. So for us, it was something that, to give this support. And I'm going to tell you, this is with the consequences, of this war that we are having right now. Ambulances, it's very important for us. We're losing ambulances on the field. So
yes,
this ambulance, we are for sure, there is no doubt that we will be very important, and another support, to Magen David Adom on the field in the next couple of weeks and maybe 2-3 months, by the time we're finishing this campaign and ordering the ambulance.
Yeah.
So thank you, Yaakov.
As far as I know, that many ambulances were burned in the border by these animals, and not only the Magen David Adom needs these ambulances to be replaced. And I want you to know, I'm sure that all of you knows that we have more than 1,300 people who were killed. Amongst them, till today, we announced only to 291 soldiers, family of the soldiers. You know what that means? 291 families now are mourning. 291 families are crying. And I'm trying to be in the funeral of some of the friends of Lidar, and I'm going to tell you a story, a very, very personal story. When we buried Lidar, and I almost fainted. I was taken to the car with the where it was less hot, and one of the soldiers came to me and he said, "Saba, can I speak to you?" I said, "Yes, of course." He said, "Listen, because of what's going on in Israel now, you remember what happened before the war. I received an invitation to go to the officers' course, but I decided not to go. But today, when I was at the funeral, I heard your words about your speech, what you said about your Zionist family, and in memory of Lidar, I'm deciding to go to the officer course." So I said to him, his name was Ido. I said, "Ido, the moment that you will finish the officer course, please call me and I will come to celebrate with you." The wife of Asaf went to visit a family in Mitzpe Ramon, where one soldier was killed. The moment that she got in, the father, his name is Yaniv, and the mother Shalhevet, said to her, you know, we want to meet this Yaakov Perez that was so impressed so much our son that he changed his mind and he went and he started to go to the officer course. He returned now to the base to fight, and he was amongst the first 30 soldiers of the base that they were killed. And the father called me and he said, Yaakov, I want to meet you. I want to see you. I heard so much about you. What I'm trying to say is that a word like that, to say I'm going to be in your officer course to participate, how it's impossible today. This son, this Ido was murdered ugly by these terrorists that killed him, that because he was a Jew, just because he was a soldier. And he told me, I said, you know, I'm not feeling well. I cannot come to Mitzpe Ramon. He said, no, don't come. After the Shiva, I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to see you. And you know, today, just half an hour ago, it was a siren, alert siren here in Ramat Gan. And we went to the shelters. Every half hour, there is, I mean, all over the country, we are, dear friend, I want you to know, we are in a very serious war. I think it's worse and it's more complicated than the war of Yom Kippur, that when we were surprised. And again, we were surprised because we didn't want to retaliate before, because we are human beings, because we didn't want to start a war. And unfortunately, we gave them 30 million, we were allowed to give them $30 million a month, that they will be well, they will have good life. We gave them electricity, water. We permitted all kinds of things to be transferred to the Gaza Strip. And instead of good things, they transferred missiles and grenades and whatever you saw in television. I don't have to tell you today with the media. You may know better than me what they did and how much ammunition they had when they came in our bases. And the first base that was touched and diluted, when you saw that Palestinians were looting the base, the container, those are the container that Lidar was transferred later by another person, by another officer, to the base called Zikim. And the base Zikim was the first one to be attacked by by these terrorists.
What a terrible story, Yaakov. I mean, we could probably talk all day, because you and I went to Israel with you on 2 missions, and we traveled all over Israel. We traveled to the West Bank. We traveled to areas that were dangerous. I remember on one of our missions, we were in Eilat, and we all heard on the news that a young Jewish girl from Toronto got killed on the beach, Marnie Kimmelman. And we went to Tel Aviv the next day. We were right there where it happened. We've been there. We've seen it. So Sidney, you'll provide me with the information that I can share in the story in the newspaper of how people could donate.
Yes.
Yaakov, we will do our best to share this message. I know all of your friends send their love and sympathy to your family, and stay safe. Please stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you. I want you to know that the goal is to raise $140,000 Canadian, and I want you to know that there is a matching with United States, Magen David of the United States, and I want to thank all my friends. I don't want to mention anyone, but I want you to know that so far between United States and Canada, we have around $80,000.
That's amazing. That's
Uh,
amazing.
within 72 hours, all the friends and that I want to thank each one. Toda rabba, God bless you. And I'm sure that one day this ambulance that going to be in memory of our children are going to save life of people who need and they need help right away.
Absolutely.
All right.
So-
Well, thank you. Thank you, Yaakov. And thank you, Sydney. And best
Thank
of
you.
luck.
Thank you, Michael.
I want to thank the chairman of Magen David Adom United States and Sydney for their help, for their cooperation. And I wish and I hope that we will have enough money to have 2 ambulances and not only one. And
Be'ezrat
toda
Hashem.
rabba to everyone who donated already. And I'm urging, please, everyone who knows me, that I'm asking for a good reason. Please help me to achieve 2 ambulances.
We will get that message out, Yaakov. All the best and thank you.